Winter depression in Canada, it's real and it affects way more people than you think. In fact, every year, thousands of people in Canada, maybe even tens of thousands of people in Canada suffer from depression in Canada because of the winter. And it can be severe to mild depression. So it's really difficult to tell sometimes, because sometimes people feel just like down and lazy and don't want to do anything or much. But this is a part of depression. And yes, it happens here every year in Canada. And for some people, it happens every single year. They are prone to depression. Me and my youngest brother, we are a little bit prone to depression ourselves, and we get quite a bit down in the winter time. And you can actually see it with many Canadians. They have the same thing, like when you see every day you see people running around and then suddenly they're stopping. By the way, yes, it is November, and yes, this is Canada. There is no snow right now. This is very extremely unusual. Normally by this last year there was everywhere snow. It was already minus, I don't know, 10 15 degrees, and now we have wonderful weather. It's plus 2 degrees. It's amazing. It's so nice warm. So of course I had to go outside. But you know, when it's getting cold, it's really hard to force yourself to go outside, because you feel like I don't want to go out. It's cold and I have to wear all those clothes. While in summer you just jump out. Like if you live in Florida, you just run outside with your sports clothes and you just need really a few clothing, just the bare minimum to cover yourself, and you are good to go. But here in Canada, in fall it already starts, and I can feel like the moisture and everything, it's getting cold. So who does it most affect and where in Canada? Mostly that depends on who you are. Like some people, they have it in genetics, like me and my brother, and others it's just like the circumstances. So for example, if you're coming to Canada, if you're immigrating and you are stressed and everything, and then comes the winter, then it's double two things that really get on your nerves. So you're more prone to suddenly get depression. But more important, what is where you live in Canada, because there are certain regions that are really prone to get winter depression, and this is usually the north of Canada, because the north of Canada is really cold. I mean really cold, and the winter is very long. Also the prairies here in Canada, where I live, like in Saskatchewan, Alberta, Manitoba, our winters are still very long and very cold and very harsh. I have for you 5 reasons why most people get depression here in Canada because of the winter, so maybe you can prepare yourself and maybe not suffer from it. First of all, like I talked, of course, unfortunately, it's because it's so cold in here. Like I said, like in the north or here in the center where I live in the prairies, it's getting really cold. We have, I think the average, it's minus 20. But this is like with November and at the end of the year. In January, our coldest month, it gets minus 30. Average is maybe minus 30, minus 25. And I can tell you, minus 25 is not much better than minus 30. Believe me, it's still damn cold. The second is that people are not going outside enough. And I understand, because I'm like this. I try my best to go outside in the winter time. I'm like, no, brace yourself, get the clothes and go out. The problem is I get very sick very easily, very quickly. So after a few times I'm doing this, I'm already getting sick, and then I'm just staying at home, not going outside. And with this comes, people are usually in the summertime doing way more things. Maybe they play basketball, baseball, maybe are in some league, just like here playing around, or a swimming club, kayak club, whatever it is what you're doing, but you're being more active, and especially outside. So people are like, well, in winter time I cannot do anything outside because it's winter in Canada. But they are wrong. There are actually a lot of things you can do in winter time. Long skiing in the parks, you can go ice skating. For example, in my city there is always 1 or 2 rings where you can for free go and ice skating. It's provided either by the city, by the community, or sometimes by some companies. And of course, what people love doing here, ice fishing. I have still never been there. Every year in summertime I'm like, yeah, this year will be the year I will go ice fishing. And then it's winter time, I'm freezing, and I'm like, nah, I don't wanna freeze for 5 or 6 hours or 8 hours free. Not enough sunlight, natural sunlight, not from your TV, that doesn't count. And it's really important because you get a lot of health benefits by exposing yourselves to the winter time. If you are, however, just staying inside in your home, you're not getting sunlight, and it's really not good for your body. The other thing is, because you are all covered up, there's not much sun. You can see my face and my hands. Soon I will be wearing my gloves because it's getting already a little bit cold for my hands. Number 4, and this ties in with the sunlight, vitamin D. Vitamin D is produced by our skin, by our whole skin, and it needs sunlight, as I mentioned before. So if you don't have enough sunlight, you get already depressed, but then it's because also you don't produce any vitamin D, or like not any, but just a little bit, and people get a vitamin D deficiency, and some people suffer more of it, and they have to take every year vitamin D. So if you are getting depressed, and maybe ask your doctor here, because the doctor here is for free here, yeah, Canada. Then you just go to a doctor and tell him, maybe, yeah, if you are depressed, feel down, whatnot, maybe if you have vitamin D deficiency, they can actually test you for this, and if you have it or not, they can just prescribe you some vitamin D, no medications, and then you will feel better. I did it once, it actually helped me a little bit. The other years I was honestly too lazy. Once you are depressed, you're like, I don't want to do anything. You're not doing what you're supposed to, and this is like taking care of your health. Number 5, this will actually surprise you, and this is conflicts at home. And you have now more conflicts at home, more stress, more fights. And this is, guess why? Because you're stuck at home the whole time. Because you're stuck at home the whole time, everyone in your family, no one is going outside, especially if you have children and they're just playing Fortnite the whole day. You are all at home suffering from the winter. If you suddenly have no time for yourself, or just like for going for a quick run, to go outside, like if you have a treadmill at home you can run, it's not the same thing like going outside and being just for half an hour, for 10 minutes or 20 minutes, just yourself alone, enjoying a little bit free time for yourself. It can help you a lot. But if you are the whole time close by each other, you can get into fights. And this happens on every year, because like you're stuck with each other for 6, 7, 8 months the whole time, except if you are at work or school. So problems can arise there, and then just add up to the stress, because you're already stressed, and then when you are close by, more stress can happen. Now, of course, there are way more other reasons why people are getting depression in winter. Not only in Canada, but then also in other countries. There are just so many different ones, and some are specific to your conditions, to your health. Just like with me, I have to look out for certain other conditions that with my poor health, which affect me and getting me depressed, and other sicknesses and illnesses in winter time. And you need to take care of it and be really mindful of that. Now, how about a solution? Here's one solution. If you still wanna come to Canada, live in Canada, or already living in Canada and you have depression, first of all, go to your doctor. If you have depression, they will help you. I had depression in my life. I'm not proud of it, but sometimes it happens. Go to your doctor. They can prescribe you medication or maybe a therapy, maybe both, and it can really help you. Otherwise, vitamin D. Like I said, in Canada, it's for free to go to a doctor. So go to the doctor, talk with them, talk to the pharmacist, and then maybe get some vitamin D. Don't just buy it. Talk with a doctor, talk with a pharmacist, explain your situations, how you feel, and then they can help you with it. Also, stay more active. I know winter can be really bad, but if you don't have a sickly body like me, force yourself to go out. And here is just a quick tip: go swimming, for example. No, not ice swimming, but that is supposed to be really good. I can't handle it. Go swimming in the swimming pools, like in the general facilities and everything. I do this every year. I go hot tubbing and then swimming, and it really helps my health. Yes, of course, you still have to go outside and drive through the snow and everything, but this is just a part of living in Canada. You can find some indoor sports. You can play basketball and other sports in gyms. You can go and find places where they actually have some classes, swimming class, yoga clubs, whatever helps you to stay active in winter time. And lastly, here's the thing: if you really cannot handle harsh winters, you should probably not live in North Canada. Definitely not. I couldn't handle it, because the winter there can be 8-9 months. It depends on what you count as winter and whatnot, but with cold months you can count 9 months. I mean months where you go outside with long jeans and a pullover, a hoodie and something. Yeah, this is northern. Here in the prairies, I will count 6 to 7 months of cold months, including winter time. So you might wanna go and live in the East Coast or West Coast. And the West Coast, just so you know, is a little bit pricey. It's not cheap. It's beautiful, absolutely. But you can also live in the East Coast, which is far cheaper, also beautiful, and they don't have winter as we have. I hope this was helpful to you, and please do take care of your health. Thank you very much for watching. Please leave me a like. It really helps me, and I hope to see you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.